Nights where we light up the spark, we're trading crypto, find out you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dark, that shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with rulers by lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows. Analyzing trends while the world lays low.
Good evening and welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts and our green screens go mad on the live. I don't know why they're messing with me so much. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? Hope you had an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical weekend. I had a good one Friday night. My wife and I went to the Grizzlies game. The Grizzlies won. Had a good time, but really just enjoyed the time out with my wife. And shout out to you, babe. I love you. And I don't know. We got a big week ahead, guys. We've got a big week ahead. We've got the FOMC coming up on Wednesday. Other economic data coming out this week. And yeah. Also, today, if you missed it, go to the Piper Academy Network channel, go to the lives, and see and look up today's stream with Blackie Chan and myself, or BC Port Corp and myself, where we go over everything that you need to know about XRP. That was an awesome stream. And had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun going over that. We're gonna try and do a lot more of that in the future. Just trying to do deep dives into projects and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think we should do it. BC and I work well together, so it's a lot of fun anytime we are able to get together and do a stream. So let's see what else. I don't know, not much else. We're gonna go over the macro stuff. It is Macro Monday. We are seeing a little bit of a dip currently, a little bit of a pullback. We'll see, is that just to prep for more upside, or do we need to look out for more downside? We'll see. We'll get into the charts. And we'll go over the economic calendar, a little bit of heat map, a little bit of Fed stuff. Try to get a little bit of everything, kind of zoom out a little bit and try to get a nice view, bird's eye view of the market this week. But before we do that, I froze. I shouldn't have. I'm not getting any indication of a freezing. That was a funny look. Oh, okay. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and bring up the chat. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who's in here. Give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Username, good evening. Caffeinated Crypto. Gonna need that caffeine for these sleepless nights that I believe we're about to be getting into here soon. Call it no sleep season. Jay Violet, shout out to you. Good evening. Good evening, Piper. I guess Piper's in the chat as well. We've got RS Miller with the wrench, new mod. What is going on? Let's see. We've got Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house. So the chat's all blue. I like it. I like it. Nothing but mods. But we also have a bunch of members too, so that's awesome. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for all that you do for the channel and for this stream. Usually I don't have this many mods in here at once, but now I do. Best part was when the car broke down and they could not move it to continue on live TV. Wait, what are you talking about? The place broke a record in amount of people attending. It was packed. Wait, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Had a great time at Barrett Jackson. Lamborghini went for $560,000. I was $1 short of buying it. Yeah, that's funny. Behind the scenes of what happens. Was the car broke down and they could not move it to continue on live TV. So yeah, scroll LBC. I did. You're behind. What else? All right, so as you can see, we do have a little bit of a pullback going on right now on the S&P 500. So we did get a gap down to start the week. Typically, we will see a bounce and come back into that gap. But from there, the question is, do we continue to push through it? Or is this going to act as resistance and we continue to the downside? Well, we'll find out. But let's go ahead and zoom on into the charts. And let's get into it. No sound effects. I didn't add sound effects. I forgot to add sound effects. I can do that later. Anyways. So yeah, don't forget tonight. Or don't forget to sign up for Blowfin, link in the description down below. We also have a good deal on NordVPN, 74% off for like 15 months or something like that. Check that out. And then we have, of course, the beautiful Chart Prime indicator suite package deal thing. Chart Prime, the best indicator suite on the market. Get 45% off your first month. There we go. Link in the description. All right, so this is, let's just get into the heat map real quick. Take a look. We can see across the board we're getting a lot of sell-off. We got a lot of red in here. There's a lot of red. Shrink this down so we can get about everything in there, and you can see just a sea of red. So getting a sell-off to start the week. Not good. Not what we want to see, right? We wanted to see some strength, but instead things have been breaking down. A lot of things are reaching out, like altcoins. A lot of altcoins are reaching down to their bear market lows. So I don't know. I don't know. Are they gonna bounce from there? And if they do, how long is the bounce gonna be? I don't know. Oh, it's not looking good out there, guys. It's not looking good. Oh, that bright red. Yeah, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? Here, let's get rid of everything that's negative and only bring in the positive. Here's the positive. Everything that's positive. There we go. Only positive things, okay? Only positive things. And this is it. This is the whole list. This is the whole list. The only, let's see. XPR network, I've heard of that. Alchemy Pay, that's ACH, I've heard of that. Proppy, I like Proppy a lot. Okay. That's a real world asset type deal, dealing with real estate. Casper, okay, I like Casper. All right, so not a lot in the green and a lot of stuff that I've never even heard of before. So yeah, I don't even know. But when we bring everything back, well, just to see her red. Stocks, I mean, not much is really open right now, so, or trading. So we're not going to really see anything on that. But then we can go over to the futures, our SPY futures, and we can see, all right, pulling back to start the week. Let's go ahead and zoom out, kind of see where we are. Bigger picture. Zoom out to the 4-hour. How did LBC become a hopium dealer content creator? It's all okay. Composite man wants your crypto. Buy the dip. Wait, what? Bloodbath red is my favorite color. So much red. Become a hopium dealer content creator. I don't know what that means. But okay. Piper, can you tell me what that means? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Anyway. All right, so the S&P did break out into a new all-time high last week, but as we can see, getting a nice pullback here, nice swing failure pattern, really, especially probably on the weekly. Zoom on out. Come on now. Yeah, let's do the daily. You went to the all green positive screener. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. So, yeah. Big run up. Of course, only natural to get a little bit of a pullback. Okay. So, nothing too crazy. Now, we do have a fair value gap on the daily sitting down here. We can go ahead and pull a Fibonacci from the low to the high. We can see that we do have a golden pocket right in that zone. Pull a fixed range volume profile to see the volume within this range. We can see that the point of control is above us. And we have a high volume node right here at the 50% retracement level. At about 59.85. Let's go ahead and bring in most of this range. Okay, so we're sitting right now on top of a value area high of this. Well, let's bring in the whole range. Yep, sitting on top of the value area high. We do have the point of control sitting below us here at the 0.382 at 6,027. 6,027. So we could be seeing a pullback down to there if the value area high does not hold. I would expect price to come down to that 6,027 level at the least. But then we do have the potential to come down into this fair value gap and tap that as well. But stocks don't tend to pull back or be as volatile as Bitcoin. So it doesn't tend to go all the way down to the golden pocket or even, you know, the 786. If it did and then it bounced higher, I would think that that could be a potential sign of weakness. It's just showing that, and then the bounce higher would just be like an extra exhaustive push to the upside. Not something I would trust. So typically on stocks and really anything, if you're getting a bounce off of the 50, that is a pretty strong bounce. That is showing that we have pretty strong buying pressure stepping up and people are willing to pay higher prices because they expect higher from where we are. Bears are gonna bear. Piper has rules. Rule number 1, you have to be bearish. Yeah. So getting a bearish start to the week, we could leave this gap and save that for later. Almost would prefer it. I would expect with the FOMC coming on Wednesday that we would most likely at least come down to that point of control. And from there, we will just have to wait and see. So a little bit of downside to start the week at the very least. The thing is what is going to bring the market down? Because everybody pretty much knows. Let's go ahead and bring up the Fed Watch tool. I know, sorry about your eyes. I can't change it. I can't change this, okay? I can't change it. So you just have to deal with it for just 1 second, okay? Sorry about your eyes. I know it's late. But we'll see. Crypto Face was calling 70K on X. Possibly. We'll get into it. Mad logo blocking view. Oh, well. That's because this isn't scrolled all the way over. That's the ES1 exclamation point. My bad. I was playing with some stuff prior to the show. All right, so the Fed Watch tool. So this is basically just, what the CME group thinks how the Fed rate decision is going to be. Right now, it is paused, 99.5% to stay paused, of course. So the market, I wouldn't see the market as de-risking when something prior to something that is very foreseen, like we know and expect this to happen. Therefore, I wouldn't expect the market to be selling off due to this. I don't know. Maybe it could be, but maybe not. But we can see that the market clearly says, or at least the CME group clearly says, hey, we're going to stay paused. All right. That's the first piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle is going to be Jerome Powell. So when Jerome Powell speaks, that is when we need to listen and hear what he says, because he could, depending on what the economic data looks like. Let's just go ahead and go over that first, and then we'll talk about Powell. So on Tuesday, these are the high impact data drops. We have at 7:30, I guess that would be 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, an hour before market open, we'll get durable goods orders month over month on Tuesday at 8:30. We'll see. So the durable goods orders refer to new orders placed with manufacturers for delivery of hard goods, which meant to last at least 3 years. Essentially, are the factories producing goods? If they are, could suggest strong economy, right? Tell me if I'm right, Piper. That's what I think. Fed interest rate decision, of course, everybody knows what this is, right? NASDAQ is selling off hard on futures. Tech sector is scared AF of DeepSeek. Why? Isn't it? It's just a competitor, right? I've been seeing some stuff on that, but I'll need to do some digging into DeepSeek for sure. So the board decides on changes in discount rates at the recommendation submitted. Yeah, this is the Fed rate decision. We all know about that. We've got the Fed press conference. I was right. Yay. So let's see. Anything else on what they would consider not so? So we have 3-month bill auction on Monday, 2-year note auction on Monday. New home sales month over month. I wonder why these aren't high impact. I would think that these are a higher impact, but maybe not. Month over month, a sale of the new house occurs with the signing of a sales contract or the acceptance of a deposit. The house can be in any stage of construction, not yet started, under construction, or already completed. New home sales account for about 10% of the U.S. housing market. New single-family home sales are extremely volatile month to month, and preliminary figures are subject to large revisions because they are mostly drawn from building permits data. So essentially, it's volatile, so it's not really something that, at least on the month over month. But we want to see trends, right? We want to see trends. So if this trends higher, right, then that would show that we are seeing an increase in home sales, which would signal that the economy is getting stronger potentially, or even that people are becoming more optimistic and they're willing to take on more risk with investments. potentially. So there's no forecast on this, so I can't see if they're forecasting higher than the previous month or not. Let's go over to the new home sales. All right, so over here, so a sale of a house occurred. This is just, what is this? It's just, the other one's month over month. What is this one? Just, this looks like month over month too. I don't understand. Census Bureau. Maybe I need to go to investing.com like Piper does, isn't it? Is it investing.com that you do, Piper? Let's see. Ruh-roh. What we got going on over here? Massive sell-off? Are we getting a massive sell-off right now? So yeah, we got some 2-year note auction, 6-month bill auction, 3-month bill auction, all of that on Monday. On Tuesday, durable goods, house price index. Pay attention to those, to the housing market. Money supply, 7-year note auction Tuesday. The United States money supply M2 includes M1 plus short-term time deposits and banks. Oh, so we get, why is that low impact? I figured this is something I would want to watch, is the money supply. Trending down from November to December. Well, let's see. China, they've got the Lunar New Year is this week. Yep, on the 29th, Lunar New Year. All right, so and then Thursday we've got GDP growth rate quarter over quarter advanced. Then we have core PCE on Friday with personal income month over month and personal spending month over month. So some economic indicators coming out after the Fed rate decision. So key things to just watch for on the press conference is to listen to Jerome Powell say, "Hey, everything's good," or "Hey, everything's terrible." This is one of, I mean, he's got to tell us straight up, right? He's gonna tell us straight up because that's what he does. Because he's a straight shooter. Yeah, right. You're right. You're right. So yeah, so I'll just be looking to think about, how are they viewing how things are looking, because we've been seeing a little bit of an increase, right? We've been seeing a little bit of an increase in our inflation. So obviously they're going to be paused. We're seeing everybody's expecting for a pause across the board. So obviously the Fed will likely be paused. And the reason why is because inflation is starting to rear its ugly head. So they need to keep rates higher for longer. If things start to get too bad, they might hike rates. We'll see if anything like that will occur. Now let's go over to the wonderful, beautiful Bitcoin chart. Let's go. Any day now. There we go. All right, so we came down. We've swept a low so far. Let's zoom out a bit. We did just get a weekly close, so let's go ahead and go to the weekly chart. Getting a little bit of lag. Come on now. All right, so we do have this upwards trend line right here. We are trending to the upside. Staying on trend. Looking pretty solid as of now. So even if we get a pullback, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I'm going to go ahead and go to the index chart so we can look at a clean chart. I don't want to get rid of all of that stuff. That's a weird place to start the week, up here and then drop. I don't know if I want to look at the index chart. Let's look at the Binance chart. There we go. That makes more sense. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look. See here, let's turn on our TR main, see where we are on our EMAs. We are sitting on top of the 5-week EMA. If we lose that, then I would expect us to come down to the 13-week EMA, which currently sits at about $94,000. Yeah, at about $94,000. And then below that is our 50 EMA at about 73. We do have the high volume vector candles over here as well, and price may want to come down and dip its toes into all of this beautiful liquidity before it moves back to the upside. Going down to the daily chart, we can see that we are sitting on top of the 50 EMA cloud, getting a dip into it. Now the 50 daily EMA sits at about $98,000 and $98,057, which of course we can push through and still hold that level. But if we were to lose the 50 daily EMA, we could be looking at price coming down to that 200 daily EMA, sitting currently at about $82,000. We'll call it $82,000. Now, if we take a fib and let's go from the start of this move here to the tippity top, there we go. We can see that the 200 daily EMA sits right there at the golden pocket. Now, this is interesting because we have also a daily fair value gap right here, right there. Wow, did that wick come out? Yep, I sure did. Yeah, daily fair value gap sitting right there as well. Then we can bring up our fixed range volume profile for this range. See if there's anything down there. I don't see anything down there. So, we've got the point of control sitting right up here at 97,500, right there at that 50 daily EMA. So we could see, like I was saying, about the S&P, the S&P futures, we could see a push down to the point of control, but since we've lost, why am I orange anyway? Hold on. White. There we go. There we go. All right, point of control, since we have lost the value area high, and we could come down, hit that point of control, get our retrace, potentially back up to that 104,500 level. Let's pull a fib, in fact, from high to the point of control. And that would be right back up to the golden pocket. And then from there, we could probably expect further downside. So we pull back down, we come up, we retrace, and then potentially push back further to the downside. Worst case scenario, potentially worst case scenario, is that this is the start of a 5-wave corrective structure that ends up doing something like this. If not faster, and deeper, and much more devastating. Be safe, people. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this fixed range volume profile a little bit further out, because I want to bring in some of this previous range over here, or a lot of this previous range over here. Well, let's go from the very low first. See where we're sitting on here. We do have a value area low all the way down at $67,905. We do start to see a little bit, we do see this pocket right here and then a big spike up right here. Potentially, well, man, if we lose this point of control, we could roll down to this level right here, potentially getting a stop right here at the 786 at $75,930. The 886 is right there at that 71,679 level. The very bottom of that vector candle is about 69,500. So crypto face says 70K. I mean, I say it's possible. It's definitely possible, especially when you look at this, you know, this volume. This thing could just cut through here like a hot knife through butter. All right. 4 hour. We go. We got the 200 just below us on the 4 hour. But yeah, not looking great. Not looking great. Losing the 50, coming down to the 200. Let's go ahead and turn this off and let's turn on our beautiful Market Oracle Pro Plus. We are currently sitting at the dynamic reactor. Our quantum reactor is still green, has not turned gray. So we are still at least a little bullish on the 4 hour. I don't know. I don't need the RSI, but RSI, if this does dip down potentially to that quantum reactor and dip down a little lower, you know, we could potentially put in a bullish, hidden bullish divergence. So something like this. Now that could be short-lived, like I said, but at the same time, something that interests me is all these highs sitting up here. To me, that's just a bunch of liquidity resting to the upside. So I think that we could see at least a short-term bounce coming down to the quantum reactor, putting in that bullish divergence, and then get a bounce. And then from there will be the question is, will that be enough to push us out of the range, or all that we will do is come up and sweep these highs just to grab the liquidity to push down lower? Either one has good potential in my opinion. So, but right now, this could be a whole setup to get people to start selling so that they can do a mass buy and push that price even higher, knowing that they have a bunch of stop losses resting above these highs. So we've got all the money up here pushing down lower. People start to sell off. They push that price lower so that people start to sell off so that they could do a big purchase and push that price to the upside. So there's your hopium. But right now, still looking kind of weak. So let's zoom out to the daily chart. Let's go ahead and throw on the RSI, or not the RSI. Let's get rid of the RSI. And let's throw on, I want to take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. And I want to see the Time Oscillator Pro Plus. Turn that on as well. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is sitting lower, sitting at about a 71, looks like 71. So still in the greed. So could be seeing lower prices simply because we are too bullish. But if we're looking here on the daily chart, we can clearly see, let's get rid of this. We can see on our Prime Oscillator Pro Plus that our money flow on the daily is still thick in the green, and that we're just getting a little bit of pullback with our trend ribbon. So this is still looking pretty good, especially since we came down and we started to push up, and now, you know, we're kind of leveling off, and it does kind of look like a little bit of a rounding to the upside. Even as we are pushing to the downside, the money flow is pushing a little bit to the upside. So that's, I mean, that's a pretty decent sign. That's a pretty decent sign. Now, true sevens, not too overheated. So I like seeing that. But we are definitely getting a little bit of a pullback as of right now. So, of course, just, you know, be careful. Manage your risk, and you'll be okay. All right. What are you guys talking about over here? Let's go ahead and bring the chat up. Haven't talked to you guys in a second. Oh, let's see. Means the perspective is U.S. tech sector is greatly overvalued. Most tech earnings come out this week too. Yeah, I saw that we saw a lot. I did see that prior to the show that there's a lot of earnings this week. RMT facts that too. What did RMT say? It's also fully open source. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about. DeepSeek is open source, but from China. Lots of concerns. Oh, they created a much better AI product with way weaker chip access? Not sure. Yep, not sure. The global market cap is 3.45 trillion, a 4.9%. All right. Craving some Dutch bros. Okay. All right, Tyrone Jinxkins. Thank you for being here, Tyrone. Mad love. No talk, just listening. Okay. All right then. Text. Send it to zero. The prophecy was foretold. All right. Bye bye, guys. Love you. All right, so we do have the dynamic reactor sitting below us, also at the 0.5% retracement, which is at about $88,091. That would also come down and sweep these lows. Like I was showing you before, we do have this daily fair value gap. We also have a weekly fair value gap, but the one that I've been watching, and you guys know this if you've been watching the show, is this monthly fair value gap. That we did already come down into the monthly fair value gap, so I don't know, and got to push off of it. That typically would be a bullish sign, but we need to see some continuation to the upside. So going down to the weekly chart, this is what's looking kind of weak, right? So we got a sweep of the high, but we weren't able to push up higher, and we get a big push down on our top side wick here, indicating lots of selling pressure. But on the other side of this range, we saw a pretty decent sized wick, almost equal in length as this one, on the downside of this range. So we just gotta keep looking, going in a little bit deeper, a little bit closer. And, you know, coming down to 88K is not impossible. But I do like that we've pretty much already swept the lows of this range, pushed up to the high. But that's just a very pretty weak move, to be quite honest. No conviction with that move. To say send it higher. Now let's turn on the Wyckoff schematic, and of course, look at that. It's playing out almost to the T, right? We've been watching this for a couple of weeks now? Or did we just start looking at it last week? I know it was right around in here that I found, or I guess it was in January, so it was right around here that I found it. I want to say it was before this move to the upside over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was before this move to the upside, because then we came down and swept the lows. So towards the beginning of January, I found this indicator, and yeah, I set this up because I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder if this will play out looking like a Wyckoff distribution. And I found an indicator that shows it, or that, shows you what Wyckoff distribution looks like, and it looks like this a little bit. So the big question for me is, if this does play out, is that going to be the end of the cycle, or is it just a pullback, a retest, a breakout? Personally, I wouldn't want to see this high lost over here. I wouldn't want to come down lower than that and come back down into this range. That would just show a big sign, a pretty strong sign of weakness. The fact that we were in this range for 6 months, but then we come back down into it not much longer, later. That would just be pretty weak to me, in my opinion. So pulling the fib from the low to the high, I mean, that does get us down to the 786, and like I was telling you guys earlier, getting down to the 786 would be a super duper sign of weakness, which means we could just get a retracement to the upside after that, and then that could potentially be the end of the bull cycle for Bitcoin, and it would just roll over from there. Now, as long as it holds this low, is this where I can't see it. 60, no, this one. As long as it holds this low right here, boom, 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 right there, $58,927, then technically we are still golden, because this is the start of the 5-wave move to the upside. So as long as we hold that level there, we are, I wouldn't say golden, but we are still technically okay. But we lose that level, that's a really bad sign, because this is where I think this move really started. We wrapped up the correction and we broke out, and then we really started getting moving. So we can see this would be the first wave, then we see the second wave that is corrective, and the third wave is always the one that breaks the previous high. That would be the third wave. Then you get the pull back for the 4, and then the push higher. Now this can be a 1 2 1 2, and then we push down to the downside, and also known as the Wyckoff distribution pattern. So that 1 2 1 2 plus bearish divergences, which we are getting those on the daily chart. So we can see if this thing just came down and then came back up and showed another sign of weakness, as price did something like this back at the highs, we'd be putting in higher highs on price, the lower highs on our trend ribbon and our momentum, and potentially putting in lower highs on our money flow as well. So if we were to see something like that, and then we lose this level, especially, well, if I can draw this out without this thing wigging out, let me remove, there we go. If we lose that level, come down, that's when, that's when things get a little bit interesting. I wouldn't want for this to be the market high, but it is. I will not say that it is impossible that the market high would be this up thrust after distribution. So we could be distributing within this range, and we might even stay within this range, keeping people super bullish. We come back up for one final break come in March. Some news could drive that, maybe even the drop, because right now, we've got the executive order signed for them to evaluate whether or not they want to do a strategic crypto reserve. Potentially, we get that news dropped in March. They get done with their evaluation. They say, all right, yeah, I think we're good to go. We're going to do a strategic Bitcoin reserve or crypto reserve, whatever it is. And we're going to, and that will drive price for one last push. That upthrust after distribution could go, who knows how high. I mean, it could go much higher than this, to be honest, and it could actually really send us, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I would just be looking out for some type of news as price is coming up here, if it is to play out like this, because that is typically a good time to sell the news, because it's just like, it's so good, it's too good to be true almost. The United States is adding Bitcoin to its balance sheet, or to a strategic reserve, and everybody's just gonna buy and FOMO in, and then all the institutions and everybody holding lots of Bitcoin will just dump on your heads, because they know that people are buying, and they can't sell unless people are buying, and they want to sell at the highest possible price. So in order to get as many people in as possible so that you can dump as much as possible, you got to have that price pushed to the high to induce FOMO. People get, I mean, everybody can, that first starts off in crypto, and maybe even still to this day, some years later, they still have FOMO. I don't feel FOMO at all, ever. But when you do start to feel FOMO, that's kind of one of those times when you kind of need to do some introspection and be like, man, is this legit? Like, should I really be feeling FOMO right now? Or also think, everybody around me and everything is bullish. Maybe I should take a little bit off the table just in case. Just in case. Not financial advice, just something I would probably consider. Dump it all to zero. No, retro. Why do you want to kill crypto? Jeez. My goodness. All right. Yep, more dumpage. More dumpage. Still have these highs up here, so but we can see on the 1 hour we have lost the quantum reactor. The quantum reactor has turned red, and so has the dynamic reactor. So not looking good there. I can already tell that we're pushing away from the VWAP. Yeah, we're pushing away from VWAP. Go ahead and zoom in to the 5-minute. And let's see. Take away the Wyckoff schematics. Bing, bang. All right, so on the 5-minute, we have a take profit 3, which typically means we are towards the end of a sell-off or of a pump. So could be seeing a potential reversal coming out of here. We do have our trend ribbon kind of pushing to the upside, putting in higher lows as price continues to put in lower lows. But that's not really something that I would just be holding on to hope for, Let's, yeah. It's looking pretty dumpy to me. Pretty dumpy. Gang, gang, bang, bang. I just said something without actually saying it, and it's pretty funny to me that I said it. Gang, gang. The weekly VWAP, definitely pushing away from the weekly VWAP. Monthly VWAP, ooh, monthly VWAP right below us, right here at 236. That is where the quarterly and the yearly VWAP sit as well, because we are still in January, but only for a few more days. And then those will start to become relevant after the end of this month, the monthly and the yearly. But yeah, Gang emoji, yeah. Is all I can say. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. Okay, so you did hear it. You did hear it. I don't know why it came out like that, but you know, it is what it is. So what we could be seeing here is just a deviation potentially below the range low over here. If we are to consider this to be the range, big push down, strong push down, then a strong push up, another strong push down, consolidate within this broader range here. There we go. Right here. So we could be seeing a sweep down. Come on. You want to draw? You don't want to draw? Okay. Sweep down, hit that quantum reactor. Also put in a hidden bullish divergence on our Prime Oscillator Pro Plus. And this is on the 4-hour too, so that could give us a pretty nice bounce coming down to this level here. Let's go ahead and add a fib. We'll go from low to high. We'll see. We've got a golden pocket down here as well. So yeah, maybe look, might be looking to potentially maybe sweep this low, get into halfway down this wick. Ooh. Yeah, I would be looking for a buy somewhere in here. Somewhere in here. I want to see a bounce off of this level in here. Okay, sweep the low of this range. Then we've got all these equal highs up here that want to get swept sometime this week. So we could see a big V-shaped recovery and then another push back down, potentially putting in a higher low, creating a higher low, and then we would want to see the push higher. So that would be our bullish scenario, more than likely. Maybe even hit our head again, consolidate towards the high. We come up to the trend line as we consolidate, maybe even create an inverse head and shoulders, and then start running in February. That is, I think, the most bullish scenario right there. I think that would be the most bullish scenario. Some version of this where we push down, we sweep this range right here, sweep the range low, come back up to the high to take out all of these highs. That is obviously where we're going to see some selling off, so we could consolidate and then we can go and send it higher. That would be the most bullish scenario in my opinion. So that would be a nice, yeah, so that would be your 1, 2, and then your break of the high on 3. Even though we already technically broke the high over here with this one. Broke that high. I don't know. That'll take some deeper diving. All I will say is he just said what the buy zone is. I mean, that would be my first buy zone. Second buy zone would be this lower level down here. This, which could mean that we just blow through this other zone and we come down and tap into this one and then get a bounce off of that one. So pretty little range of, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 or so. But definitely this is what I would be watching with my Mexican spaghetti. Okay. Shout out to the OC guy. Bouncy. Push down. That is not what I wanted to do. There we go. All right. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Of course, We want to I think this is what we really want to see. We want to see the bounce off of here, okay? We don't really want to lose these lows. And we definitely don't want to come too deep into this box, because we start getting deep into this box, especially coming down to like the 886 or so, and we'll probably, I don't know, man. I still think we'll come up and get these equal lows before we go too much lower into this box. Yeah, or equal highs rather. I think we'll come up for these equal highs before we would go lower into this box. Just my opinion, but we'll see. But yeah, didn't really get into a whole lot else, did I? The Dixie. Let's take a quick look at this. How are we looking? Come on. All right, so Dixie getting a sweep of the lows, coming down into a point of interest down here. Not really entirely sure what that point of interest is. Maybe on the daily chart could be a fair value gap, or maybe even on the weekly chart. Wow, no. 2 week chart? Monthly? Nope. No idea what that square is, rectangle is, of course. This candle right here. Lots of liquidity here. Okay. All right. So getting a little bit of a bounce off of that. Dixie not looking too strong though. Not looking too strong. Sweep of the lows. I would look for potential retracement. Yeah, potential retracement, maybe up to the 50 percentile. Not really equal highs. Let's zoom in a little bit, because those could be equal highs. We do have a nice big gap right here that we could see price come up into. What are you doing? All right, so yeah, we do have, wow. Okay, so we have some macro golden pocket, and we have this local golden pocket as well, all right there in this gap. So I'd be watching for the Dixie to potentially get up to about 109. Yeah, 109 to. Oh, we do have some equal highs up here. Yeah, I could push higher. I wouldn't want it to, but could push higher. Right now, it is sitting below on the 1 hour on the dynamic reactor. Let's go to the 4 hour. I mean, we can clearly see some type of downtrend going on in here. So we break that trend. The Dixie could be looking bullish, but we can see here on the 4 hour, the dynamic reactor is red and has turned red. So we might fade back to the dynamic reactor and then get a push back down. Good night, RMT. Thank you for being here, as always. Let's bring up, oh, I need to go to Capital.com, because this one actually has some volume. So we'll go to the Capital.com. Okay, so we do see some rounding off here on our VWAP, looking pretty strong for a push down. Whoa. Okay, yep, I remember drawing this out. I was looking for a potential head and shoulders pattern in here. But yeah, we can see right here. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of a lot of this. There's too much going on. Too much going on. There we go. 2.9452. Not sure what that is for. All right, so came down to the bottom of my box. Interesting. And is currently getting a little bit of a bounce. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Of it. All right. Okay. All right, let's take a fib. High to low. Bounce up. We do have the monthly VWAP sitting right here. So we could get up to that 108.37 level. But we really want to see the Dixie just continue to falter and roll over. Even if it does get a little bit of a pop up to start this week, we would really want it to fail to break any highs and to continue to push even lower, because that would be good for our risk on assets. We want the Dixie to go lower. But if we take a look at the euro, okay, the euro's been pushing pretty nice. We can see 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. Now, typically 3 hits to the high, that means we got the end of a move. We are getting a pullback. We're pulling back onto this line here. I'm not quite sure what this line is. Let's go ahead and zoom out. See why I have this line on here. Go to the weekly. All right, so we have it must be just a random support resistance line. Not very random, but there we go. There. All right. So coming back into this previous range is the euro. We did get a pullback down into this fair value gap right here. Let's go to the 2 weeks, see if that, yeah, that's a lot better. Put on the magnet. Let's turn this on, or let's pull this over here. So on the 2 week, we come straight down to the 2 week. Yeah, looking beautiful. Getting a bounce off of this 2 week fair value gap on the euro, and we do have these, relatively equal highs sitting up here. So just looking at the weekly chart, so essentially what we want to see on the euro is we just want to see it push, push higher, because that would make the Dixie move to the downside. Now, if it makes a push up like this, fails to reclaim this high, then that's just a 1, 2, 3 correction, and then it could continue going lower and lower against the dollar, which it will likely do over time. We'll see. If it is to be bullish, then that would be our 3rd wave and then a 5th wave for the euro. But I don't know if it's going to do that against the dollar or not. I mean, we'll see, but I'm not so sure about that. Essentially, just a simple ABC correction, then we get another ABC correction. That's ugly, not exactly what I would expect it to look like, but something of the sort. But yeah, euro could be short-term bullish. I think everything is a little bit short-term bullish. Looking on the macro, I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing just zoomed out. Of course, we're getting this little pullback. It's gonna scare people, and for me, when there's blood in the streets, you buy. You buy when there's blood in the streets, even when the blood is your own. But yeah. Thank you, Alexandra G. As always, best mod in the biz. Bitcoin got down to that monthly VWAP. Sitting on top of that currently. Still have the the quantum reactor below us on the 4-hour. So, all right. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Join the VIP upperclassmen Discord for the Piper Academy. Link in the description down below, but also in the chat right here. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we create new content when we go live. As always, this is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor. So we have the total 2 getting a breakout of this downwards trend and currently back testing that trend. We do have some stuff below us, but I do like, so we come down, we come up, hit our head, come down, set a new low, come back up, so a 3-wave structure to the upside, hit our head, 3-wave structure to the downside, hold the low, take about half of this wick, push up, break this high over here, barely close above it, I believe, on the daily chart, and then get a little bit of a pullback, of course, because that's how these markets work. And we're coming down to the golden pocket, so we really want to hold that golden pocket here. We really want to hold that golden pocket here, right here, and let's get a close back above this downwards trend line here and remain bullish, okay? Because if not, it's bad news bears, and everything's gonna continue to fall lower and lower and lower. But yeah, that time, guys. Viewers have dropped off. Everybody's gone to bed now, so thank you all for joining me. Didn't get too deep into the charts, but we have plenty of time for that. Tomorrow night we will be having Trade Intuition on the show. Tradester Joe, T.I. Joe, will be joining us for TA Tuesday. So we'll get all the charts for TA Tuesday. All right, all the charts. So don't forget to also but yeah, check that out right back here tomorrow night. Don't forget also, go check out the live stream that BC Port Corp and I did earlier today. Everything you need to know about XRP. We pretty deep dive and discussion into XRP. It was good times, good stuff. I think pretty informative. So check that out. But other than that, guys, be right back here for Good Morning Crypto with BC Port Corp at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have the morning market report with Army Piper and the OC guy at market open, 9:30 a.m. Then we have Trade Intuition at 4 p.m. for the Trade Academy. Awesome show, as always. And then we have the Crypto Nightcap tomorrow evening, maybe, if TradeFly is going to make it. I know his guys got a pretty bad beat down today, his commanders, but shout out to TradeFly. I know how it feels. But hey, you guys made it where you made it with a rookie QB, so the future looks bright for Washington, for the Skins. But anyway, then that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. TradeFly and FD White for the Crypto Nightcap. And then we'll be right back here with Trade Intuition at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till midnight. But yeah, until then, guys, I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep. Mad love. And I will see you all in the next one. Ride the waves. Peace out.
Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, find out you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dollar shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trend, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, live financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows. Analyzing trends while the world lays low. Markets after dark where only brilliance shows. Hit that subscribe and join the ride. In the world of finance where fortunes collide. Lunar's path will be your guide. Through the market storm or the market tide. On the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. From big dome markets soaring fast. Markets after dark touch shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trend, see the future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode.